morning, Christopher.
Hello. Hello, Hadea. Good morning, Hadea.
Good morning.
So we're leaving Bozeman. It's the last day of our road trip, and we are heading to JB1 Studios from Bozeman, Montana right now.
7:46, which is really 6:46 JB time.
Yeah. And I'm betting we get there around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
I don't know. That's like no P stops, and that's almost Google time. Google time says we're going to get there at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
I'd say 9:30 because I'm going to have to make you stop and eat something.
That's true. So that'll be tight. But we're excited to make it back, and the long journey begins now.
Most of that.
How come we can't have one of those in the back of the RV? We could generate a lot of power.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Well, we got this last time coming in, but geez, it's almost eerie. There's a rest stop. If you look at the rest stop compared to the it's nice little things. Chris, should we do a little update? Where are we? Oh, you need me to tell you that. We're right up.
Ellensburg.
Are we?
Yeah.
Basically?
Well, that's what the nav says.
Is that what the nav says? Hello, nav. Hello, nav. And you know what? It got pretty warm. It was cold when we left. It was like, 40 degrees.
40.
So then we come over, we go through Idaho, we get into Washington. It's warm. So what do? We change.
Right.
Can you guess, without me pointing this at Chris, what color he's wearing? Just by looking at the reflection. It's hard to look at him. It's hard to look at him.
It's too bright.
Ah!
Turn your monitors down.
Ah! Meanwhile, I'm over here naked. I'm just kidding. No, but I'm wearing shorts. I feel much better. Okay. We're getting much closer. Can we?
Yeah, hit that button there.
Where am I now?
Yeah.
No,
Hit that map. Hit that map.
So
Boom.
Tells us it thinks we're going to be home at 6:44, and it keeps creeping up there because it doesn't know that we're hauling something. So our guess is 7:30.
Yep, and 157 miles left. We are. We have officially arrived in Arlington, Washington. We are parked outside the JB1 studio.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. So we drove for
13 hours, just under 13 hours.
13 hours. Wow. So we'll do a recap here in a minute, but right now we're gonna go get some food, and then we're gonna go snuggle with some kids because we miss those kids, and we've been looking forward to that the whole drive.
Yeah, we kind of booked it home 2 days early.
So we're excited. We're gonna go eat and see the kids, and then catch up with you guys.
Yeah, maybe we'll get another video in right before we crash tonight. There will be updates. Good morning, everybody. So today's Thursday, October 8th. We've been back since late Saturday, and Chris has hit the ground running and stumbling, trying to catch back up with work. And both of us are pretty frustrated that we haven't had a chance to update all of you guys. So he ran off to work this morning, and I am here at the trailer, which is parked in Bow, Washington. We're at 1,000 Trails up there. I'm in the process of, if you can listen, can you hear that? I've got bacon in the oven, and I've got tea on the stove. I just got up, I'm a little tired. So we got back late Saturday night, and we spent most of Sunday with the kids. And then we spent the rest of Sunday finding a place for the rig to park, because we can only be in certain places for so long, and we've got sort of like a trial membership with 1,000 Trails and figuring all that out. And then Chris went immediately back to work trying to fix problems and get shows up and running and get content put out the door, all the meanwhile trying to find time to sit down and do this. So there isn't a whole lot I can do for him. So I am only now getting back to work. I'll go to work here in a couple of hours, but there isn't much I can do. I can't edit video for him, and I obviously can't put his shows out, but I could take a couple of minutes and do this. And I thought this might be helpful for you guys to know that we are alive, we are well, we had a great time. We learned a lot. So this isn't actually our summary video. We will do that together. But there were a lot of lessons learned. And a lot of noticing what the difference is between taking a trip as a vacation and taking a trip that's meant to put out content and learn how to put out content and have meetups, and what all of that takes and what resources we need to have set aside in order to do that, both energy resources and timing resources, and how much traveling we can do on a day when he's trying to do a show, and what kind of connection we need, all of that. So we'll go over all of that because he'll know the details of that together. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for making this entire trip possible. There's no way we would have done it. Had the truck broke down the day before and you guys hadn't pushed so hard for us, hadn't brought so much to the table for us, we wouldn't have done it. But you guys had done so much legwork for us that we just jumped all the way in. So thank you for making this possible. This trip for me, I wasn't doing work on the road. I was sort of like a supporting character. It was a difficult pleasure. It was a real joy to be on this trip with Chris. It was a real joy to meet you guys, and it was a lot of like coming up against problems that I couldn't help to solve, which was frustrating for me because my entire sort of existence is one of helping people. So learning curve for me, for sure. But grateful, very grateful to have been on this trip. And we're now in a beautiful place up in Bow. I mean, it's rainy, it's October, it's Washington, but I like it here. And I'm really enjoying living out of this trailer. It has a sort of a simplicity and a sweetness that seems to fit me, at least right now in my life. So thank you. We will get back to you. My hope is, so today's Thursday, my hope is that by Saturday we'll be able to put an actual log together that compiles. We have a lot of hyperlapse to show you. We've got a lot of really cool footage from our last couple of days in Bozeman, and then our drive through Montana and Idaho and Washington to get home. I hope that we can get all that out to you in short order, but thanks for having patience with us in the meantime. Okay. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great day. I hope you're having a great week. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Up tech snap a little bit ago, and I can't believe here I am at the end of a Thursday, and this is the first time I'm recording something since we parked. I was expecting to sort of hit the ground running with extra time. I mean, we got here 3 days early, so I thought I'll have extra time. But no, it was just a mad blur since we've been here. And in some ways, good. It felt good to be back in the studio with my equipment that I normally use and all the buttons and things like that. In some ways, it felt really good to be back and get some shows going again in their regular time slot. So that feels really good, but I feel bad that it took so long to do this update. And I have used that time a little bit to reflect on the trip. And like Hadea says, I think we're just gonna do a separate video on that because there's a lot to cover. But I'll tell you one big takeaway for me that was like the number one most important thing. And that was, I'm gonna close this. Now it's worse, isn't it? No, sorry. See, I got that oscillating fan over there. Anyways, the number one thing for me that I took away from the road trip that I wanted, like before we even left, I hoped would be one of my takeaways, and it definitely was one of my takeaways, is I want to do another one already. That is like the number one thing, is I'm excited about doing another trip already. I'm already daydreaming of trips I could take, and I think that's a really good sign. There's a lot of things, a lot of lessons learned that I want to share with you guys, and there's a lot of thanks I want to give. All that, though, I want to save for a separate video. There's also a couple of Fallout things that are a result of the trip now that I have to take care of, that I'll probably make a video about if I have time. But now that I've caught my breath after recording TechSnap, I wanted to get a second to say thank you. Following all of your emails and comments has been a lot of fun for both of us. Rover at JupiterBroadcasting.com is still active. A big apologies to all of you who wanted us to make it to Utah. Apparently, there's quite a bit of you in Utah. The first couple of emails I got, I was like, oh, cool, we have people in Utah, that's super neat. And then like 5, 6, 7, 8 emails come in about people asking about meeting up in Utah, and it became pretty apparent that we need to actually spend some time down there and just make it its own trip. And so I think that'll be something you hear about in the future, maybe another video update or something down the road. But yeah, shout out to everybody who's expecting to meet up in Utah. Sorry we didn't make it, but on the bright side, it's going to be a dedicated trip in the future. So stay tuned. We probably have at least one more Rover log coming your way, and maybe more. Your support does make a difference over at patreon.com/today. Thank you, everybody. Also, if you want a little more Rover log, like you've enjoyed this stuff, there are exclusives over there for the patrons at patreon.com/today.